Twin Otter is a Canadian 19-passenger STOL, short takeoff and landing utility aircraft, developed by de Havilland Canada and currently produced by Viking Air. The aircraft's fixed tricycle undercarriage, STOL abilities, and high rate of climb have made it a successful cargo, regional passenger airliner, and medevac aircraft. Development of the aircraft began in 1964, with the first flight on May 20, 1965. A replacement for the single-engined DHC-3 Otter, retaining its renowned STOL qualities and design features included double-slotted trailing edge flaps and ailerons that work in unison with the flaps to boost STOL performance. The availability of a 550 horsepower Pratt & Whitney turboprop in the early 1960s made the concept of a twin more feasible. To bush operators, the improved reliability of a turboprop power and the improved performance of a twin-engine configuration made it an immediately popular alternative to the piston-powered Otter, which had been flying since 1951. Hello and welcome to another wicked gameplay episode. We're back in X-Plane today and we're looking at one of the newest aircraft to hit the X-Plane org store, if you want to call it that. This is the Twin Otter, de Havilland Twin Otter by Rob Wilson, who also is doing the A330, I believe, Airbus. But this is something that he was putting together on the side while he was doing that, and very nice aircraft it is. It's quite cheap. It's only around the $27 price tag, I think, on the org store. And you know, there's a couple of things that probably need a bit of tweaking, and a few people have pointed out. But overall, I think it is a very nice aircraft and worth that price. And yeah, I'm definitely glad to have jumped on it. There is some things that need to be fixed. Some of those is like the second radio. Second comm is connected to the GPS, so you can't have a second comm channel or nav channel. It is basically the same one. We'll have a look at that sort of thing. But overall, very, very nice aircraft. Now, this isn't a standard livery that comes with this. This is one that was done by Cranky65. He's on the forums, and I love his liveries. He always does a fantastic job. Just look at that shark livery. That is absolutely awesome. I love that. So as you can see, this is quite a nice aircraft. We're going to just about to jump inside shortly. One of the other things with this aircraft, the sound that comes with it isn't particularly accurate. I'm okay with that for the time being. It'd be great to see this improved upon over time, but as it is, it sort of comes with, I don't know if they're default sounds. They kind of do have the turbine prop sound. So, you know, it's probably not the ideal sound. I also have the Twin Otter from Aerosoft, which is quite nice. This is probably not up to that scratch, but definitely nice to see a Twin Otter in X-Plane with a really quality 3D cockpit, which we'll check out right now. First thing, as you can hear, I'm not sure if you can hear that, but there is a fan sound running in the background. Not sure what that's all about, but I can't turn that off. It sounds like the Avionics fan or something to do with that, but it is there at the current form. So got my throttles, everything mapped, my prop, also the mixture. I'm moving my mixture and my Cytec throttle quadrants, and the mixture doesn't actually adjust, so that's the other thing. But you know, like I said, I think if this was done as a side project for Rob, then I think that is still a pretty good job overall. So we've got our start switches, landing lights, ignition switch. Not everything is modelled here, like this cap, this safety switch here doesn't open. We'll go back down. We've got our, you know, standard sort of instruments here with airspeed, RMI, your, you know, vertical indicator in terms of whether you're climbing or descending, altitude, some nav, OBS. This thing here is kind of a little bit unusual for me. It's a decision height indicator. I'm not really familiar with that from other aircraft, but I believe it is a decision height. You can set that and it'll tell you I guess how close you are to achieving that. We have our engine instruments. We have our fire, left and right engine fire extinguishers and fuel cutoffs, etc. It even has a little instruction on how to actually go about doing that, so you don't even have to look at the manual. Our radio stack and our co-pilot instruments on the right hand side. We also have a very basic autopilot here. Basically engage that and you can set your altitude, and it's quite a very simple autopilot, but it's still quite effective. What else have we got here? So we've got our switches up here. We've got our overhead panel with all your typical things you might find up there. It's not too crowded up here. Pretty standard kind of stuff. Co-pilot, radio stack. Just going through my buttons here. What else did I have mapped here? We have our passenger. I've just got him sitting here at the back looking at the left hand engine and just under that wing. And I think that pretty much covers everything. We also have our ram air here and vent fan, nothing I've really played with before. Yaw damper, what do we got? Some rudder trim and that sort of thing here. And our park brake, which is on. So all this seems to work fine. The toe brakes don't show anything there. I'm not sure if that's normal or not. And these left hand switches here don't do anything either. Okay, we're going to get the show on the road. We're going to take off from this particular airport, which is Tenerife North. We're going to be heading over to El Hierro Airport and landing in there. We're going to be basically from this airport, we're going to be departing off runway 12. We're going to head over to an NDB and then turn right. So it's basically straight out from here to the NDB, which is dead ahead. Turn right, and then we're going to head over to a VOR. From that VOR, we're going to head over to another VOR, which is La Gomera, which is Golf Charlie, Golf Mike. And then we'll head off to our final destination, which is El Hierro Airport, Golf Charlie Hotel India. And that will terminate the flight at that location. So let's get this on the road. This, or I should say in the air, this flight is the one that comes with this particular aircraft and is recommended. And I actually had a great time doing this just the one time. So let's get going here. Start up the, let's get some battery power on. Now some of these switches are a bit tricky, you gotta sort of drag and pull. We'll do the master DC switch. I think I'm okay with that now. Let's have a little look up here. Let's turn on some anti-collision and position lights. And go up here now. Because the throttles, the mixtures don't actually work, I'm going to put these forward now. I'm not exactly sure that that is the 100% correct way. I always thought with the turboprop you start the engines first and then put the fuel mixture in, but I can't do it because of these not working properly with my throttles, with my mixture levers. So we're going to do that. We'll need to turn on some power, or left ignition igniter. We'll also need some fuel, so I might just do that on both engines while we're here, and that should be okay. And then we're going to hit the starter switch here. So I'm going to do that with a mapped key. I'll zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to do that with the map key. Let's have a little look at what these gauges do. So we'll start the right hand engine, we'd call clear, hit the starter. Seems pretty fast to have settled down that fast. Okay, so I'm going to pull my prop mixtures, not my prop mixture, my props back. We're going to do the same for the left hand engine, so let's turn on the igniter here, and probably should turn on the right generator, so I'll do that. You're supposed to go to reset and then let go. Strange. We'll start the second engine again with the left engine, looking to make sure it's clear, and then hitting this left starter. Got fuel flow, all temperatures fine. Just seems like that is not 100% accurate to me from memory. I'm not a pilot on one of these things by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, let's get back up the top here. Let's turn on our no smoking, fasten seatbelts, and turn on the left generator resetting. If I can drag that down and back up. That's fine. We'll turn our bleed air on and off. Not on and off, just on. And I think that'll do it. Now, I think we're all good here. All our annunciation lights are off, which is good. There is no test button for that I can actually see. Let's turn on now all our avionics. We'll turn this on. Got this nice little startup screen here, like the Garmin startup. Kind of cool. You have to hit the enter, so we'll do that. You can see here I've already put in my last flight, the final destination, which is the Hierro Airport, and we're going to be flying that leg via GPS. Let's turn on powered here. I have both my settings set up already, or both my navigation VORs here, and you can also see they match the ones in the GPS, which is kind of a bit odd, but from looking at the forums, I believe that is the correct way this plane was actually created in the real plane that this was modelled off. So we've got that on standby. I believe that's the right thing to do. We'll turn this on, and we're going to turn this on to ADF, and this 410 is our first DME that we want to go for, or NDB that we're going for, 410 kilohertz. We'll go over to here, and we should be able to put this on ADF, and this points to 12, 12, which is aligned with our heading, or our runway heading. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to move my heading around to here. Oops. Let's get this to where I want it. And I think I'm pretty happy with that now. Okay, so let's just make sure we've covered off everything. This looks fine. Don't need anything else there. We've got our... just turn our taxi lights down as we get ready to taxi. Jump back out. And we don't have any pushback options here, so I'm going to just swing this thing around myself. So we'll release the brake and we'll turn it around. Start to turn. Now, obviously if we had a pushback option, we wouldn't do that. Is that plane there looks a bit beaten up. And we want to head over to runway 12. Okay, so this is also a free airport. A couple of these airports. Now I'm going to put everything that you see here in the description in the video episode, so you'll be able to see exactly where to get it from. It's all from xplane.org. You'll be able to download all the scenery from there. You'll be able to download I've got links to the Cranky 65 shark skin that you can get with it for this aircraft as well, so that'll be in the description. As you can see, this is quite a nice little airport here, and I think the guy that created most of the airports, or all of them, for this episode is Sestamano from the forums. There's also a sound pack that was being created. There's been some discussion about how accurate that is, but I don't think the current sounds are accurate anyway. They were taken from a YouTube video. So let's hold up here. We're coming up to our line. Okay, so as you can see, the broken line is on the far side. That means that's where the runway is. The solid line is on our side, so that's the taxiing side. So we're going to hold up here. We'll turn on our nav lights, and I think we can turn off our taxi lights now. We'll turn our pitot heat on, and I think we're cool. We're cool to go. Let's just get going. Everything looking good. Let's assume that we've been cleared for takeoff. I'm gonna put my props full forward. Probably should set my altitude here as 7,000. The flaps on this, we'll go with flaps 10. Now you do need to hold it down. There's no like detents. Apparently that is the way the aircraft is. The Aerosoft one isn't like that, so I'm not sure. If you're a Twin Otter pilot, it would be great to hear what your experience was. But I believe this is modelled off a particular Twin Otter, so therefore that is the way it was in that particular one. Okay, I think we're all good now. Let's make sure we're fine. Decision height is set for around 250. I don't think I can actually make that any lower, can I? Doesn't seem to. Can move that around. There you go. So that's cool. I think we're good to go. We've got our landing lights are on. We've got that trim. We've got yaw damper. I don't know if I should turn that on now. I can't see where my trim is anywhere, other than if you look at the autopilot system here, you can see I am trimming up, but I don't see anything that shows how much I'm trimmed. So let's just assume that is pretty good. Let's get this show on the road. We'll start to accelerate. Mixture, everything's full forward. Can accelerate to about 70 knots, and then we'll start to pull back. Airspeed's alive. Start to pull back. Nice. Hold it at about 90. Let's have a look at our instruments. Just pull back on my. Keep those in the green, the prop levers. So we're good. I'm going to lift my flaps up. Do a bit of hand flying. So we're going to go straight ahead. Then what we can actually do here is go to the autopilot. We'll set our heading and turn this on and put IIS on, and I'll let that go now and see how she goes. And then we're going to turn on our altitude alert button here, so that should get us where we're trying to go. So we're climbing here at just over 1,000 feet a minute, around 1,300. Seem to be going okay. Flaps are all up. You can see here we're trimming. Is that heading on? Yep. Thought that normally lights up a bit more. Doesn't really look like it's lit up. So here it is. Here's how she looks. Let's have a little look outside. This is HD mesh scenery as well. If you like flying Spain, then here we are. So we're climbing quite good. So the first point that we're going to be going to, the first VOR is this 116.4. Can we identify it? Let's have a little listen, see if we can actually hear anything. Have one. Let's just assume that is correct. I know it is the right one, so I can just barely hear that coming through. And that does work. Okay, so what we want to do, we're assuming that is correct. As we're just coming over the coastline here, I'm just going to turn us to the right. So let's just use our heading bug and turn to around 210. Should be okay. So we're up to 6,000 feet. We're turning to the right here. We're starting to level out, and now what I'm going to do is start to get our coordinates to the right thing. So we'll just keep turning this. Okay, so that's where we need to get to, and so we'll set our heading bug to here. Leave it about there for now. Okay, so you can see here we're still climbing. Our ultimate light is on. And we're coming up to 7,000. We're still trimming. You can see I got our light on here as well. We'll start to level off at that speed. Let's just check our engines. We're looking pretty good. We'll just give us a bit more thrust. Climb that bit quicker. No flight director. Okay, so as we hit 7,000, we're starting to level off, and you'll see this is all looking good. And we're not climbing anymore, so we're right on 7,000. We're going to pick up some speed. So now we're at 7,000. I'm just going to turn our landing lights off. I thought we could leave those on. Let's have a little look where we are. Engines look good, everything looks fine. We've got plenty of fuel, and we can keep continuing on. Let's have a look at it from the outside. Very, very cool. And a beautiful livery. I love this livery. It's really, really awesome. So there we have it. This is the Twin Otter. So what I'm going to do is take us to our first waypoint, which is a VOR. Basically, it's at the tip of this part of the island ahead of us, and once we get there, we'll make our first right turn to our next waypoint. Okay, so we're just coming up to our first waypoint now. If you look at here, this is kind of where we are. So we've just come from this direction. We're moving over to here, and then we're going to fly over to our right. If we look at our GPS here, we'll see we're not quite direct to the waypoint. You can also see that looking at our direction here. So we might just turn to the right a little bit, or a bit to the left of it, and we'll leave that as our heading. You can also see we're about 5 nautical miles away, and that's just ticking down slowly as we're heading towards it. And what I'm going to do here is we're set on heading right now, so we might just flick out to our next VOR. I'm going to turn this to show where that is. This direction. So that's where we're going. Sometimes you can actually see the VOR if you're looking down. Might be able to see it on the ground here somewhere. See some houses, small lakes. I don't see it. I have seen it before. I don't see it this time around. So what I'm going to do is we're pretty much going over. We're basically flying over it now. So what I'm going to do is switch this over to. Let's go to navigation. We're starting to make our right-hand turn. Jump in the passenger seat here. Let's turn around. Oh, look what she looks like at the back. It's pretty nicely modelled as well. No locked door for this particular aircraft. It's just open, and I hope that you can trust your passengers. Looks like we might have been able to see a bit of sky through that exhaust there on that engine. Let's go back up to the front here. So we're basically going to fly across to this island over here, and we'll move forward from there. So I'm having to use some left rudder as well. If I take my foot off the left rudder, you'll see the want to be stepping on that ball. So I'll just press on that and keep that centered. Having to apply a little bit of left rudder. Okay, you can see we're on nav here. And I'll pick this back up when we hit our next waypoint. Okay, we're back. We're just getting to our next waypoint, which is La Gomera, which is Golf Charlie Golf Mike. If I just try and get up here, you'll see the airport here that we could actually do a little touch and go. Explain's got some very sharp edges coming off here, but this is another airport that was free. That was done by Sestamano, I think his name is. Pretty cool that we've got another airport that we could just drop into with some houses on the side of the mountain there. But this is our next waypoint. So from here, there is no VOR or any real navigational points to follow other than our GPS. At least that's the way I understand it. So we're just coming across to here. I've already set our next waypoint, which is El Hierro Airport, Golf Charlie Hotel India, and that's our next waypoint. You can see I've already got it programmed, so all I really need to do is activate it. We're going to do that, and you can see here's our flight plan. It's going to do that now. So then we're working on VLOC here, so that's using the VLOC settings here, the frequencies. So we're going to switch over to GPS, and that's going to then take us to our next waypoint, which will take us home. So there we are. Not super flattering, quite plain scenery around here, but the airport is nice. Okay, so another leg over water. See how passengers doing here. Hasn't thrown up yet. Must be doing something right. Okay, we'll pick it back up when we get to our destination and start our descent. Okay, so we're coming into our final destination now, and if we look straight ahead here, you'll see the airport buildings over here. And what we're going to be doing is we're about 10, let's look here, just on 10 nautical miles out, and we're going to start to descend, and we're going to come in on runway 16, I think it is. So that's what we're basically going to do here. Just fix up my rudder there. So we're going to set our altitude to about 2,500. Let's get that down. So about there, that'll do. Turn our IIS on, nav on, and reduce our throttles down. can see we're starting to descend. Quite rapidly, mind you. I'm going to pull that back up a bit. Don't descend too fast. So we are descending 3,000 feet. That's actually quite fast. Starting to come back up, I think. It's a bit strange. Starting to fix it up. Maybe it was because I was too aggressive on my reducing my props back. On a nav course, make sure this is good. GPS is good. We're just going to head over to the left-hand side here, or right-hand side, I should say. It's actually come down quite fast. Oops, I believe I was supposed to press this minimum decision altitude. We're going to go way past where I want to be. I'm going to disengage the autopilot. Hold it at around 2,000 feet. Let's lift this back up. I've only done this flight once, and I believe I was supposed to hit my... This is not going to go down anymore, no, because I've turned off my autopilot, I'd say. So there it is over there. We'll start to get some flaps going soon, I think. Trim up a little bit. Bring my throttles back up. Adjusting the throttles, trying to keep that under control. Didn't exactly do a downwind. I've kind of butchered this approach, but anyway, let's probably should have come in a bit more tighter to the runway and gone a bit downwind, but anyway. Let's get these revs down a little bit, throttles. It's back in the wide here. Get what am I trying to do here? 10 degrees flaps. Start the bank left. Try and line ourselves up with the runway. Kind of tricky coming in from this side because you've got the mountain side here. another stage of flaps down. We're looking pretty high, so I'm going to bring her in a bit. Probably way too high, really. Now we've got quite a bit of speed. Let's get full flaps here. Descent rate's pretty high. Oops, did forget my landing lights. No descent checklist. Alright, at least we're down. Did I forget them? Yes, I forgot them. Oops, sorry. Report into the office and we can do some reverse thrust. Down to about 40 knots and we're good. Let's turn off the runway. To the FBO here. Get to some parking. Nice looking airport though, isn't it? Look at what a great job the Sestamano, I believe is correct. I hope I'm not butchering that. That's the correct name. I'm just gonna park it here. Park that. Let's have a little look at what that replay looks like. Coming quite high. You can see here our nose pitch is actually quite steep. I do have a habit of coming in low though a lot of time. Trying to change that. So we're just starting to level off here. Got that nice shark teeth bearing down on us. How did we go when we land? Probably could have flared a little bit more, but that's not too bad. Oh, I'm alright with that. It's okay. We didn't really need the reverse thrust, but there you go. Okay, so here we are at our destination airport, and let's just shut this thing down. Taxi lights are on. Kind of butchered the procedures there. We'll get that all back up. Fuel off. That'll shut the engines down. Probably would have been easy to do this. Pull these back, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I've butchered a lot of those procedures. Turn all this off. The landing lights off. Turn these off. Come on, grab, pull. Doesn't want to happen. Off. There we go. It's kind of tricky. And obviously we turn off our bleed air and all that good stuff. So there you go. Passengers can now get out. We'll let them out of their seatbelts. They actually survived. And that is basically it. So there we go. There's the Twin Otter. I didn't turn off all that radio stack. That wasn't very cool. So there you go. Twin Otter. She's really cool. You can see here it's got the doors. And I'll just show you real quick. Can we actually open this door at the back here? You can actually open this door and get outside here. So very, very cool. So there we have it, the Twin Otter. Quite a lovely plane, and really, really happy to see this in X-Plane. It is blowing a gale here, as you can see with that those flags. So there she is, the Twin Otter. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you think. Do you like this aircraft? I'm looking forward to seeing some updates to this. It would be really, really cool. I know Rob Wilson, who created this, was saying that he did this on the side, so props to him for just getting it out there. It's nice to see an aircraft come out shortly after it's been announced, which is really cool. Sometimes they can take quite a long time, so it's good to see it, even though it's not fully finished. But you know, I'm actually okay with that. I think it's quite a lot of fun. It's really nice to fly by hand, and yeah, that looks very, very cool. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great week.